We're live. Hello, friends. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this. I don't know no one's in charge. That's the thing. I keep looking for somebody to be in charge. No one's in charge. Right. Hello, everyone. We're here. We're playing this game. This game is very good. This is very good. Ty, would you like to talk about this game?
Yeah, I can talk about this game. So cool. We're playing a game called Our Traveling Home. It is a GM. Wow, you're not gonna see that at all.
Give it a little tilt. Give it a little there it is.
Our Traveling Home. It is by creator Ash Kreider. I linked. There's a link on my tweet about it to find and buy the game. It is a great game. We last session, which you can eventually watch on something, which we haven't uploaded yet. We established our characters and did a couple scenes. With those characters, this game is played by each character picking scenes. So let's go around and say your name, where we can just your name, pronouns, and what character you're playing. I am Ty. I am playing Enoch the Cursed, and we both use he and pronouns.
2 seconds.
Recording in progress.
Don't mind that at all, anyone.
It's fine. It's all.
Excellent.
And I will toss it to Alex.
Thank you for actually tossing it somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm Alex. That was interesting. I'm playing the Demon Booklet. Their pronouns are not important. And name is Mesreth or Mez or Dust, whatever anybody decides to call, and they are confused. Zach.
Hi everyone, that's me. I'm Zach. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm playing Orlest, which is the child playbook. Just a little scamp who uses he, they pronouns. They're figuring it out, man. Just here to cause problems on accident. Maria, you go. You're last.
Oh, me. Hello, I'm Maria. I use they, she pronouns. Today I am playing the wizard, who sometimes you can call Wiz, but usually just the wizard. The pronouns they have are irrelevant, but for convenience sake, you can use they and them pronouns. And they are the wizard. They do wizard things.
I was really thinking you were going to say for pronouns, you could instead use the wizard.
You can, absolutely. In fact, gender is wizard. Pronoun preference is
identify as a wizard.
Am wizard. That's me.
Okay, awesome. So we are in Act 1 of this game. We are taking turns picking scenes. The scenes we have picked so far, each scene can only be done once. We started with the home improvement, and then we went into the special family meal. So now Zach is going to start us off by picking a scene.
Right. Been thinking long and hard about this, and by that I mean fretting over it, and I think we've landed on magical adventure. So to toss us into that, a moment that started out as mundane suddenly becomes thrilling and magical as the wizard swoops in and saves the day. Where does this happen? So setup. This is a scene for the wizard and at least one of the cursed or the child, although both may play if they wish. I'm the child, so I guess I will be in this scene, and that leaves Ty to decide if Enoch will be in this scene.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. Enoch.
Okay, that seems fair.
Yeah.
Oh no! So, wait, read the next sentence though.
We're getting there. Yeah, this seems off-brand, but the game says it.
For sure.
The wizard will be the rescuer, and the other players will be the rescued. First, determine where the adventure takes place. Roll 2d6 to set the location and describe what mundane activity the rescued and whoever accompanied them are doing in that location. So I'm going to do that. I'm glad I went and grabbed dice earlier. Yep. This would have been embarrassing. Thank you all for...
I love the fact that I can't leave the house, and so I get to stay here, so the demon is going to go make coffee.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Go get it.
That's synergy. All right, so I've rolled myself a 9 on this lovely table.
Nice.
And that does put us in the 8 to 10 bracket, in the wilds, far from home. As opposed to in the wilds near home, which was a different option.
Correct.
All right. So, oh yes, we have to decide what mundane activity we were doing, which might be interesting to decide before we decide on what threat intrudes upon it. Sorry, what do you think? or
think
less than
maybe-
Enoch have been getting up to.
I think maybe Enoch and or less were taking Stumpy for a walk.
Oh
Like
my
it's
God.
pretty
That-
mundane. But then the house jumped away.
Oh,
Like we just timed it really bad.
no.
So that's why we're far from home. We just we mistimed when we thought it would land and jump.
I'm just imagining the wizard not noticing.
No,
and,
absolutely not.
Mesrith noticing but not being able to do anything about it, just watching from the window sadly. Like, hey, oh no.
Stumpy's rubbing up against your leg as the house jumps away in the background.
Yeah. Somehow with his weird little prehensile tail grabs
Yep.
like the edge of my jacket or something is like
Hey.
points.
Yep.
All right. So next, we'll roll to set the nature of the threat that intrudes on the mundane activity. That's a big old 5. Oh, the enemy's magical servants. We got our first almost viewing of the enemy. Get some of their magical servants up in here.
The enemy, to recap for those who don't remember, which I am not included in, is of course is Ferris, the High Magister. Irrelevant gender, antiquated clothing, hard eyes, needs the wizard, and home for world domination.
Perfect. Had a non-participating player describe the threat and how it threatens
Well-
the participating players. How do they escape? What makes it magical?
Well, the non-participating player has stepped away for a moment.
See.
I think you're closest enough to at least like.
I'm close enough to
Give
a
us a-
non-participating.
Not
man-
currently participating.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're not in
That is
scene yet. You can maybe start off with some of the how the threats begin.
Okay. So, I think the important thing to establish then is y'all are on this walk, right?
Mhm.
And the house disappears. What do you two do? You're in the wild. The house has disappeared. What do you do?
Well, I think, or less, first of all, as in any good emergency situation, jump straight to panicking.
Oh, good.
Go for it. Yeah.
I think Enoch just like as Stumpy notices, Enoch just like watches the house as it like fades into the distance as it's jumping away. And like just takes a minute just staring as it gets out of view, and then looks at
Mhm.
or less. I don't suppose you know any sort of like teleportation magics or any sort of if the wizard showed you any sort of
I can't really do the moving physical objects through space very well, and the wizard said no on this, so I'm prefacing a little bit, but I can open up a void portal of some sort, and just we could just do a little hop, skip, jump, right? I mean, like I can kind of still see it, so I think maybe we could but then I could get in trouble with the Wiz is gonna. They don't really yell, but it just seems disappointed, like I did bad.
Yeah, I'd love to advise one way or the other, but I have my experience in magic is far less than yours. So, whatever you think is best, I suppose.
Well, we could try it.
All right.
Cool. Excellent. Excellent. Good. Here's where I would love to take this.
Yeah, we got a threat that it turns out the house isn't the only threat.
Correct.
Yeah.
I want to say that your magic is kind of successful. You're able to teleport somewhere, but it's one of those things where you teleport and you are not at anywhere where you want to be. I like to think that you're like you teleport in this like underground super secret hidden base that just has like, you don't know exactly where it is, but you did teleport, which is great. Good job. Excellent. But you're also like now kind of, you've got these individuals. Did we're bearing this symbol of whoever this person is, theirs, whatever
do
it
they look
happens to be.
like?
Huh?
What do the enemies look like?
What do the enemies look like? Okay, so This particular place, I think that these servants are only semi-corporeal, so like kind of similar. Enoch, I think you would find like a weird resemblance to them, although you don't know the nature of your curse, so you're not entirely sure why. But like these kind of amorphous figures, some of them are standing on 2 legs, some of them are standing on 4 with 2 arms, varied sizes, but all of them kind of have that similar thing to you, Enoch, where they're kind of just blank with glowing eyes, but their eyes are scary. And that's where you are. You're in this you were doing a mundane thing and now you're in this very bad place.
I don't suppose this is some sort of basement in the house, or less?
I've seen most of the basements in the house, so I don't think so. But you can never really be sure with that. It could be a new basement. Every once in a while, one of those pops up. Like maybe point over into a distance to like our friends that I don't know that either of us two would have a great idea about the wizard's enemy.
Yeah.
But they seem maybe it's like as Maria described it, they kind of got Enoch's look, but if it looked mean instead of charming. It's like it's just over and it's like, I don't suppose they're house guests of the wizard either.
Should we try and talk to them, or?
I think they're just standing like almost in like a scary movie way. They're just standing and looking at you. They're not moving. They're not making any motion. They didn't even turn to look at you. They're just like standing and staring. Although it's well lit down here. Like there's like torches and like little lights and things hanging around.
Yeah, just cool spooky dungeon stuff.
Yeah. There's some stairs that can go up. I think this might be like some sort of laboratory place, so there's like tables and sort of like knickknacks and doodads and such. Yes.
Question from the audience: would those stairs to go up happen to be, say, on the opposite side of this threat from us?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Weird how that happened.
So I have mechanically a question. I'm reading through this. It says.
Yeah, I see. We've got some.
I think that
complications.
Yeah, I think so. It says. Describing the threat, how it threatens the participating players. How do they escape and what makes it magical? But then it describes, like, that the adventure begins when the wizard arrives. And how difficult it is to escape the intruding threat. So, like, I don't know where...
I'm not sure.
Because I feel like we would describe how they escape, what makes it magical during this play, right? Are those the questions that we're meant to be answering, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so I think, this is like a little bit of prologue, and the adventure begins when the wizard arrives to intervene. How does the wizard appear
that sounds right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent.
I found the most Ghibli mug I could find.
That's very good.
That's good.
It's so very good. Excellent. This is great.
Thanks, I got it from World Market.
Oh my gorb.
Oh, you have a lot. Alex, you are going to need to be on this page too, as you're going to be narrating a lot of things in a minute.
Yes.
You got it.
Page
It turns
25.
out, as the non-participating player,
you're actually participating quite a lot, actually.
I am so sorry.
No, it's great. We set up some, like, establishing things. So Enoch and Orless were out walking Stumpy, what was it? Catamander?
Yeah.
I think that's what we called it.
Catamander. That's what I have down on here.
Catamander I'd ever written down too.
And the house jumped off without them.
Oh, okay.
And in an effort to try to get back, Orless cast some void portal magic. Ended up, they are now in a underground dungeon bunker lab place that is filled with my enemy's magical servants that are visually look a lot like how Enoch looks, with like kind of super blank, like body-ish shape with glowing eyes that are they're just kind of staring at these two. So that's the stuff that we've established so far.
Fantastic. Okay.
So yeah, I think next up is how does the wizard get up in here?
Yeah.
So to kind of rewind time, like meanwhile, the house jumps away, and I think it takes about like, I don't know, 2 minutes or so, and the wizard is I think they are walking through one of the many halls and step on something gross and excrement-y from Stumpy, and gets a little like annoyed and goes to try to find Orlest. Can't visually find them, tries to like mentally ping around the house for them, can't find him, so they go to try to find Enoch because they kind of hang out together and can't find Enoch, and then they're like, so I think what they do is they are going to use void portal magic. And as they're like in the middle of like the hallway, casting this giant portal spell, and like it's just turning into like that like, you know, that black paint that like is basically negative space because of how dark it is. That's basically what it's turning into. And they shout to wherever Mez is, and they say, I'll be back soon. Just kind of keep the house here. And they'll step through the portal, and I in my head I'd step like right out, like right behind the two of you, and
like right where the previous portal had been.
Yeah. And they're like panting pretty heavy, and they're like wiping sweat off their brow. They're like, that was, oh, there you two are. Hello, Bob. I noticed you were gone.
Not on purpose.
Where have we gone? Why are we? It's just like pointing to everything else in this room.
Well, we were going to ask them, perhaps for some help.
Yeah, we got a little lost when the house jumped away.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if you know this. They work with and for Theris. So this might not be great.
Am I in trouble?
Not yet. We gotta make sure that we, if maybe later, but not right now.
Let me just hop back through the,
So here's the thing about that. It takes a lot out of, it's got kind of a little bit of a, I can only do it once every so often, so we gotta...
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty exhausted too.
Yeah, we gotta maybe relocate.
Like sits down on the ground.
But nope, not that, and I'm just gonna like scoop you up. Okay, so have they done it? They haven't done anything, right?
They just kind of looked at us. I mean, they didn't seem angry or aggressive yet.
Okay, well, okay.
We must have just been keeping our distance over here.
Okay, so we should leave here, because I don't know where here is, but it seems bad. So why don't I'll make a big old flashy thing on this side, and then you all go that way and up the stairs, and we'll kind of play it by ear from that.
Right.
Okay, excellent. All right, so my plan is to make a loud, noisy, potentially fiery distraction.
Yep.
You want to roll first for it?
I was just
sure
gonna say,
am
can
gonna.
we
I was
cut to
more
the
like
rolls?
clarifying what I was doing in case
Yeah.
a major complication happens.
Yeah, for the listening audience, it says, next each participating player will roll 2d6 to determine how difficult it is to escape the intruding threat. And we'll see how this goes for each of us individually.
All right. Well, I have a minor complication. My gambit mostly succeeds, but also causes a minor complication. Exciting.
After each die roll, a non-participating player narrates how the threat responds according to the results of the roll. The wizard responds by describing how they use their power to adapt to the situation. Oh, I'm wondering. Okay.
I am here for it. So
Yeah.
I get to essentially lead you all to your doom.
Yeah, you're the hand of fate.
You get, so minor complication for this one.
Minor complication. All right. So, Wiz, you described that you were trying to open another portal, correct?
No, my portal is on a cooldown. Conveniently for the sake of this scene until we get out of this place. No, I am trying to create a loud, noisy distraction. Perhaps starting with like my loud and noisy voice and physical appearance to allow the other two to kind of sneak past and upstairs.
The best thing I can think of is trying to slam down a book to hide a fart.
Yes.
But instead, what you end up doing is you slam the book on the desk and then about shit yourself. So you succeed in the fact that you have created a noise.
Excellent.
But unfortunately, that noise was not as loud. And so half of these formless and shapeless beings look to your decoy, and half of them look to you.
Okay.
So you've succeeded.
Okay. Excellent.
Partially. And they
Perfect.
both kind of like eerily turn towards you and take a step forward.
Cool.
In a way that just makes you go, oh, well, now they're
it
moving.
makes my spine tingle. So the we should establish how many are in here. 5?
I was going to say 7, but
7.
we can
No,
go with
7.
5.
No, you're
We
the
could
one. You said
compromise when we
listen,
said half.
with
Yeah.
6. We can
6.
How about 6? Okay.
Yep,
So
3
half
and
half.
3.
Excellent. So seeing that it only kind of got the attention of half of them, I think the Wiz is gonna whistle, kind of do like a little flicking motion with their finger, and there's like this kind of gust of air that just like spins the others like around, doesn't move them anywhere, but just literally just like a whoop, so that they're at least looking at me, to give you all a chance to like a better chance to get out. They're still like, closer to you, but
Is this another die roll to see if
Yeah.
that succeeds?
Okay.
no. It's
it's
I
one
respond
of
by
ours.
describing how I use my power to adapt to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But then Enoch and Orless will
Orless.
each individually roll, and I'll have to do the same thing where you narrate how well they do, and I'm like, okay, well, how do I fix this?
Got it. Okay.
You can go next if you want.
Yeah, go for it if you got something.
8. Also a minor complication.
Okay. And what is Enoch doing?
Enoch is going to again, but that mostly succeeds. I think Enoch is going to. It's noticing that some are kind of like turned around, but still like in the same spot. I think Enoch, instead of like trying to take the long way around them, is going to try to like kind of grab Orless and try to like make it so he's running through them because they're the same like material of passive.
Okay. So you're trying to use the one of us kind of concepts. All right, cool. You pick up Orless and begin running through this crowd of strangely familiar looking beings, and for the first 4 you go without notice, and then the 5th one starts to almost be like, ooh, not one of us. And the 6th one hooks onto Orless sleeve, kicking you back just a little bit, but you're making it through, but you've been slowed down, and they are aware that you are not one of them.
Save me, wizard.
Okay.
Wizard.
The wizard.
Wizard
is not excited. Okay, so, the wizard is going to, looking at them making their way, and then looking at the stairs and looking back and seeing that, like, something has a hold of Orlest, they're gonna just be like, and take a deep breath, and then as they exhale, they turn into a big, like, trail of smoke, and just kind of, like, weave through everyone and recorporalize themselves. Basically, like, right between this figure and the two of them, kind of just, like, lifting the arm up and off of where it has Orlest, but putting themselves in a very close position, which is unfortunate. And we'll say, please hurry, this is exhausting.
Right.
Okay.
Time for one final gambit, then, it sounds like.
Yes.
Um, Yeah. Remembering, using all my resources that we've described as having here, I have picked up Stumpy around the middle, like, as, you know, the thing, like, Simba lifted, essentially.
But they're, like, suddenly now 9 feet long.
Yeah, I don't know how long Stumpy is by this point, probably unnervingly bigger than the last time we saw him. And, you know, we're kind of at the last
It's been 2
spectral
days.
guard. It's been 2 days. This is such a big animal. Orlest can barely lift it. It's basically Orlest sized. And holds up Stumpy. We're kind of at this last spectral guard, right? And just like holds up Stumpy and like, get him, boy! And just like tries to get Stumpy to bite, scratch, stab with glowing tail. Orlest doesn't know what he wants out of this. He just thinks Stumpy will handle it to
Okay.
get past this final guard.
Go ahead, roll your 2d6.
Yeah. Oh, that's a 6. That's a major complication. The threat is prepared for your gambit and puts you in a very tight spot.
They had some time to study you, well before any action was made. You go sprinting through the crowd and get caught up on the last one, and you turn right after being unlatched by the wizard and hold up this janky looking cat. And they almost just don't even see it. And Stumpy. Yeah, Stumpy, not even understanding, because literally it was born yesterday. Kind of just goes, and slides out of your hands and skitters, frightened, back through the crowd of amorphous bodies, out of sight of you, and you are then grasped and held by one of these beings and pulled into the fray as they start to surround the child. Hey, it said major complications. So
Yeah, no, you did good.
No,
done
that's
lost
very
your
good.
cat, and now you're captured.
Done lost your cat. Okay.
All right, wizard, fix it. Save the
Okay.
day.
Fix it.
Orlest gives you, actually, in fiction, the fix it look.
Okay, so where's
More
our
concern for Stumpy than
where's our
anything.
Stumpy?
Stumpy has woven through the feet and gone kind of back towards, I think, where
We started.
Enoch and Orlest had originally
Where we had started.
spawned, and is cowering in some, let's say, some boxes over there. You can hear just a and it's like the clinking of boxes.
Yeah.
As its giant body tries to hide very shittily behind a curtain.
Okay, good, great, good, great, good.
Where you can obviously see them.
Excellent. We love this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then a thing, one of these has or less and is like...
Yeah, and has pulled them back as the other ones try to kind of like phalanx around them.
Okay.
Like, now we have something precious for you.
Okay.
They all say in one resounding voice.
Spooky.
Okay, so... The wizard is standing... In my head...
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing next to Enoch, and this thing is dragging this beautiful child away from us. So, Wiz is gonna grab Enoch by whatever they can, and like pull really hard towards or less, so that you're close by. Is going to grab onto Orlest as much as they can around the waist, and centered around now the three of them. They're going to emit just like a giant like burst of like force energy just like out to like knock them all back, so that they can get out.
Okay. Okay. Once all participating players have rolled and the responses has been narrated accordingly, the wizard is able to escape with consequences according to the number of successes and or failures. So you only escape with one consequence because we've had 2 successes and 1 failure, correct?
Well, we had, technically they were all failures because we did not get any 10 pluses.
But it just says your gambit mostly succeeds.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's in the middle. I would assume it meant like if we got all.
It just
All
didn't
1 to 6.
succeed
I think it's the
perfectly.
in between.
Yeah.
I think it's the in between if I did.
Yeah,
So-
that sounds about right.
In doing your kind of shockwave of I did process that right.
Yes,
Correct?
you did. You absolutely did.
Okay. You are able to kind of blow back most of these amorphous people, and the one who holds or less looks at you shakingly, kind of in recognition of this great display of power.
I think as
releases...
it looks at the wizard, their glasses kind of slip down, and this like shadowy kind of wispy starlight stuff that kind of every once in a while like flits in their eyes is like kind of like tendrils almost, just kind of like undulating like over their eyes, and they look mad serious, yo.
Yeah, it says causing a small portion of their demonic form to be revealed. Is that the demonic
That's
form?
all. Well, that's all.
That's all failures. We're
So
doing the
in
in-between.
between is the one. on the bottom.
Yes.
Yes, but that
In
is
between.
that is a hint.
Yes.
Yes, that is a hint.
Okay.
But okay. So the in-between one is the wizard is easily able to use their powers to escape, but the rescued are badly shaken by the encounter since there was 2 of you. Okay, so
Is Stumpy considered one of the rescued?
So I think so. I think like I was
Okay.
gonna be like
I didn't want to take away Stumpy, but at the same time,
yeah, like
I'm-
part of me was like yes, but also like no, this is a wholesome time. But like, also Stumpy's gonna be shaken by this.
Stumpy is not going to like the wizard after this.
Correct.
And
So
Orless is going to have some work to do with getting trespassed
Yeah.
as well.
yeah. So I think what happens is the wizard like yells at the 2 of you to go. They run over and grab the cowering baby Stumpy.
Uh-huh.
Just as like these things are starting to get back up. And I think
My dog is trying to flip over a toy that has some kibble left in it. And so if you hear some weird noises, that's what it is.
I think how I envision this is like cinematic. Like they go up the stairs, they're outside again. The house is nowhere in sight. And like the two of you get up there first, and there's like this moment of like, is the wizard gonna also come? And they are like running, kind of half dragging this this Stumpy, who does not seem to be enjoying being next to the wizard along.
I actually think that you rip the curtain off and essentially
basically like wrap it,
swaddle them, because if they're anything like a cat, they're not going to be very super stoked about you being grabbed. And so you know better, and you just grab them in a towel and you bolt, and you have a curtain as well.
Yep. So the Wiz would throw the curtain cat, would we're not gonna throw animals here. Would like swing it over to Enoch. With the other hand, go to cast a portal, and it's not working. And they just kind of stand there, looking at where the portal should be. And I think like these figures are now like, you know, more quickly coming at us. And the wizard looks back and then tries again, and you can see that there's like this little like wisp of a portal that kind of appears. And they just kind of like sigh, and they say something that I don't think either of you, it doesn't sound like a word. It sounds more like an absence of word, and their entire physical countenance changes instantly as they're drawing on powers that they don't really have right now. They are still wearing the same clothing, like their clothing doesn't change or anything like that, but they turn into I guess no, their entire visage would change. Where the wizard was standing is now just a vacuum in space, essentially. As I wrote down, a vacant stain in space, a void filled only with starlight and whispers. As that appears, and then very quickly, the portal that they were trying to summon appears, quite big. And you kind of hear, in mixed with these whispers, "Go." And I'm gonna mark this thing down for Act 1.
Nice. That felt like a thing to mark down. Yeah.
It's a big thing. It was a pretty big one.
I'm over here going, do I have to do something?
Or less, like a child scrambles, you know, all hands and feet.
Mozzie.
Just through portal.
Enoch follows.
Yeah, I think there's like a moment, and as the wizard makes their way through the portal, they're like void, and then like as they go through the portal back into the house, and like for like a split second there's still this weird void space, and then they like transform back into what they were wearing before. They like pull out a chair. Or they hold out their hand and a chair appears, and they just kind of sit down where they're at. Whew.
Mozzie, do you mind?
Mozzie does not mind, ever.
Nope, he doesn't.
So now we have some aftermath questions.
Yep. Rescued. How do you feel after the encounter? Afraid? Thrilled? Amazed? Why? What moment do you find yourself thinking about with a smile later? And the rescuer. What do you do once everyone is safely out of danger? If you need time to recover, do you show your weakness or skulk off somewhere else to recover in secret?
As rescued number 1, I would like to answer to the question: afraid, thrilled, amazed? Yes. I think the weird mix of, it's like, that was a thrilling, big, magical adventure, of course, and or less, despite the uselessness of it ultimately did get to do some cool magic, but also is like, terrified, saw the wizard have to do a big, like, energy attack thing and then go corporeal and build a whole portal out of their essence. Hard to say. It was unclear what was happening there, but it was very, very startling. But like also kind of cool. But then also has the layer of like being a kid who, kind of did something wrong and just like probably after we get back is like, gonna scoop up Stumpy and try and get out of here and sulk to a room somewhere.
You're definitely gonna have to build some trust with Stumpy.
Yeah, Stumpy does not want to go.
Nope. Stumpy instantly bolts for the kitchen and hides in one of the cabinets, one of the high ones, because they know that you can't climb them yet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then I've also got, what moment do you find yourself thinking about with the smile leader? I mean, I think it's making a big portal to go through. I was like, kind of fun doing a little void magic. Like, wizard didn't see it, didn't maybe catch on, who's to say. Just kind of like, oh, hey, nice.
Enoch feels after the encounter, I think, a mix of curiosity at seeing these things that are very similar to how his new form is, and probably a little bit of amaze and afraid too. Like, was obviously a somewhat stressful situation and never seen the wizard use power to that extent and get like kind of that serious. And I think, what moment do you find yourself thinking about with a smile later? I think Enoch in his room later thinks about like seeing the wizard be more like attentive and protective of other people, and I think that's the moment that makes Enoch smile in that moment.
Well, once everyone is safely out of danger, the wizard just sits down. Unless Orlest tells them about the void magic spell, they're not gonna know that Orlest did void magic, and what are they gonna do about it? Say, don't do that? But like,
you could cut that out. I don't like, maybe you cut magic detection stuff. I don't know,
maybe. But regardless, Orlest does not get a talking to or anything. Neither, no one does. And
the wizard might.
Well, they are very infrequently seen, I think, over the next couple of days. Spending most of their time in their secret room. And when they do come out, they look very tired. Like a little bit like wasted away, which is weird because it's been like not a couple of days maybe. But I think for about like 4 or 5 days or so, they kind of are just not seen very often. Until like, close to a week later, and then they are just there, and the house is different. So I think for the first time for like almost a week, the house doesn't change, which is a wonderful, bizarre surprise. But then like, day 6 rolls around and suddenly everything is everywhere again. And they're just kind of like semi-smiley, doing whatever they want, kind of self, as if nothing had happened. It's fine. We don't have to talk about it.
Does Mez get to talk to anybody during this? Or because they're not in it, they're not in it? I don't know how that works.
I mean, we can have scenes if we want. It's also been an hour for this one scene, so My initial estimate of 3 to 4 sessions will be wildly off.
Remember we tried to dissuade you from that notion right away on our ability to stretch this out?
Because I feel like that had some consequences for Mez.
What, the wizard being away?
No, the wizard using that much power.
Ooh.
Oh.
I mean, that could be
The wizard did
a thing in
overextend their
another
power.
scene too.
Yes,
Yeah.
which means y'all came back to a much more corporeal looking Mez.
Yeah. Mez was
on her.
more person than
Yeah,
than
and at some point, Mez would have 100% talked to the wizard. Because one of my things is warn the wizard that they're in danger of losing their humanity.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
But
I feel like we could absolutely.
But I can save. I'll save that.
Yeah, because
but-
there's
That could be a midnight confession. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've got
Yes.
quite a few scenes left in Act 1. Like, there's plenty of time for stuff to unfold about that.
excellent. If you had anything from your marks list that you want to check off, you can. I did, which is overextend your powers and reveal the nature of your demonic form.
Nice.
It's me.
Yay.
Yay.
Did you learn anything from it?
It was fun.
It was great.
Real cool.
It was real
Everybody
cool.
seemed depressed.
Should do it more often.
Yeah. Haven't I don't think that they've really tapped into it that much for kind of, I think, mostly the sake of Mez. And I think that they learned, like, damn, I can be hella powerful, but wow, that takes a lot out of you, doesn't it? Wow, I kind of feel like garbage after that. They learned great power comes at a cost. No, great power seems to come out at cost. We're not all the way there yet. We
Question
haven't
mark?
fully. Yeah.
I did not mark any off that scene.
Yeah, same.
Cool.
All right, next scene.
Hi, I think it's you.
I'm going to do Chore Day, because the home is magical, but not so magical that it doesn't require upkeep. There are a lot of chores to do, and with all this magic around some of them, it can get pretty weird. It's for whoever wants to play. Does everyone want to play?
The wizard will not play. I want to say that this happens during wizard sabbatical.
Okay.
I'll say that I'm torn.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Do you want
I
demon?
think both. I'd have Demon
Mhm.
and Mez and Orlest if you guys both want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I
I
think
Then
it
kinda
would
like
be really
that.
interesting because then you could explore
Yeah.
the, like, you're kind of
Mhm.
corporeal for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they definitely don't know how to handle that shit.
Mhm.
Begin by having the player who selected the game describe why a cleaning day was required. Is because the whatever magic did upkeep this place was dead for the week. The wizard was out.
Yep.
So, like, without the rooms changing and the wizard kind of recovering, things have just gotten really, really behind. So that's why a cleaning day is required. Each player who is participating will select a chore to attempt. Each player may use an I learned once to get an automatic success. If you fail, that chore occupies the entire day and you may not attempt any additional tasks. If at the end of the game you have a number of successfully completed chores equal to the number of people that played the game +1, you not only succeed at cleaning the home, but make a minor improvement listed under the home's improvements. So we're each choosing chores and then rolling. We just can't fail, and we can use our I learned to succeed if we want to. I can start us off. What have I learned? Anything?
What have I learned?
Have any of us truly learned anything?
No.
Wizards learning some stuff. Now, are they applying that learning? That, like, they are learning things. Are they applying that knowledge? Well,
I will. I'm just gonna roll first. I'm just gonna risk it. I'm gonna do weeding the garden. You have a small container garden on the balcony, which we already established. But all the magic in the home can do weird things to the plants. Roll 2d6.
oh yeah, this is definitely the greenhouse then. This is
Thank
your
you.
garden.
I got exactly a 7.
Oh, good.
Perfect. So you didn't mess up Mez's sleeping.
Yeah.
Quarters.
Aside from a minor misunderstanding with the grumpy tomato, plant weeding goes without incident.
Wait, you got a 7?
Yeah.
But the 7 plus is the other one.
7 plus is a success. I got 7. I didn't get a 6. 7 is the top, 6 is the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's no in betweens.
I know, but it's reversed for me on this. 6 is
What does
the
it say
top.
for you?
6 is the top, 7 is the bottom on the PDF. So
Huh.
a 6 and
Oh
under
yeah,
it
7
says,
plus you get is the bad one, and 6. Oh. I
Interesting.
feel like we
Oh.
should probably
I don't
trust
think that
Ty
that-
since they.
yeah, I don't
actually
think
have
that
the
that feels
'Cause-
weird.
Yeah, because the higher number would be the one that's better
Yeah.
for everything else.
Cool, we're gonna do that then.
So aside from a minor misunderstanding with the grumpy tomato, plant weeding goes without incident. So I think, Enoch is just in there like trying to corporealize his hands and like slowly pick out the weeds and like tries to hush the tomato to not wake Mez.
Hush, tomato.
And that's it for mine. That's my first one. Who wants to go next?
I will. Let's see. I will. I'm gonna go dealing with pests. A tiny monster from the wilds has gotten into the home and is currently living somewhere inconvenient. Describe what it is and where it's living, and then flip a coin.
Oh, what?
Ooh.
That's not what it says.
Oh,
It's still
well,
2d6 here.
it says flip. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and it
flip
says
a
2d6 in some places and flip a coin in others. I'm really enjoying the translation of this
Interesting.
PDF.
And you can use the I learned if you want to auto succeed.
The what?
If you've learned any lessons, you can use one of those to auto succeed if you want.
Yeah, if you've done the like,
If
if
you've
you've
done- if
marked
you've
If you
Anything
marked
in your
anything,
marks.
yeah. Because every time
Yeah.
you mark like one of your marked things, you can do like I learned blah.
Gotcha. I will just roll. I will say that the tiny monster is let's see. I'm gonna say it's a very strange tick that Stumpy has brought in. And it sounds like that.
oh, okay. Well, good VFX, yeah.
Thanks, Maz. Ooh, that's a fail. That's a 6. You use a broom to try and shoo the monster out of hiding, and it eats the broom.
Well,
Then trashes the room it's in before you shoo it out a window. It takes quite a while to clean up the mess. Yes. Mez is not used to having to use a broom, let alone having hands that are like able to hold a broom. And their presence isn't as scary, and they feel very human in that moment. And they don't like it,
uh-oh.
or at least it doesn't. It's a sensation they're not used to, but they failed.
Right. I think I am going to select to clean the underside of the home.
Excellent.
Whenever the home moves through the wild and get pretty dirty, and as it does, and the demon gets pretty cranky if you don't clean it. I honestly, I was thinking this is more of a like, or less is going into Chore Day being like, trying to make the wizard happy. Like we're trying to reach even on this. Oh, I just barely got a 7. So you're able to use a push broom and a basin of soapy water to scrub the home clean in fairly short order. So yeah, I think I like the idea that we've got some sort of hinged frog legs or whatever. There I assume has to be some way to like prop the home up slightly, and or less just like ties a rope or something and is like crawling around there, sweeping the underside of it. You know, just there's all kinds of gunk and grime, all kinds of stuff. If I may toss another thing in there, maybe what if found some sort of scrying room, the right word? Hold please. Some sort of scrying rune or something from the wizard's enemy that had slipped through with us in the portal. Just comes back into hey, I think this symbol looks familiar. I was cleaning the home on the the under part of it, and I found this, and it's glowing, and I don't it feels like it's got a bad energy. Do we tell the wizard about this or no?
Are you asking Mez this?
I don't know. I think whoever's around it.
I feel like you're just carrying it over your head, just shouting.
Finding anyone, hopefully not the wizard.
Yeah.
I guess.
Mez will just
you were running around for the find your tick friend, right?
Yeah.
Just as you're doing that, hey.
Can
I'll just.
Yeah. And it's only about this big in her hands.
Yeah, I'm
yeah. I'm gonna hold on to this. I'll talk to the wizard later. How's that?
That would be great. I don't know if the wizard and I are on great terms right now, and you two seem to get along pretty well. So, yeah, if you could just, I'd like that.
We cohabitate, but I don't think they're too upset with you.
Okay.
If they were, I'm sure they would have told you.
Okay.
They seem like one to keep quiet.
You're right on that front.
So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Maybe make them something nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and cover a little pigpen grime ball or less books to go do some other chore apparently.
Yeah.
Because it does look like
we do it again.
If you fill your chore, that takes up your whole day, but then we can keep going other than that.
Correct. Yeah.
So 2 of us can attempt to get 2 more successes and win the day.
I'm going to use an I learned. I'm going to use he learned during the cooking episode that about how much he misses his family, and I think how much cooking for them and cooking for this family means to him, and it's how he connects, I think, to people. So I'm going to make preserves, and I'm going to auto succeed on it. It's always nice to have things like jam for toast and tarts, and you've got a basket of fresh berries gathered from the wilds that the wizard assures you it's safe to cook with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to succeed, so you end up with several jars of glowing jam that tastes like raspberry and doubles as a nightlight.
Excellent.
I think Enoch does takes it takes a long time to it's getting to be night now as he creates these glowing jam jars and goes to everyone's room and drops off the glowing nightlight in their room separately and keeps some in the kitchen as well.
That good nighttime that nighttime jam snack.
Yeah,
Nighttime jams.
A bite of jam.
A little bit of jam for the food, for the nice times.
For the
It's in a
dreaming
nice mason
spaces.
jar with a ribbon tied around it.
Yeah.
Aww.
Night night.
So then you need 1 more success.
Yes,
Which I'm not allowed to roll because I'm spending
You're spending
the
your
rest of the
day with your tick.
You're spending
with your tick problem.
Yeah, with
You got
your
a tick
problem.
day. A nice
All
tick
you
day.
see is just me in the living room with the couch and one arm going, where are you?
Yeah, in the background of every scene is Mez just running around looking for this thing.
It's on it. It's just I've never had blood before.
I think next up, keeping with the, or let's just still thinking maybe the wizard could use appeased in some way. We're going to repaint the wards on the house. The warding runes on the outside of the house periodically need to be repainted, but it's painstaking work because you have to get it exactly right. Also, this is like, we'll practice, see how I am with magical wards. Try and impress. Ooh, there we are. That's a 10.
Nice.
Hey.
You did it.
Nice.
All right. You take your time and get every line, curve, and squiggle exactly in its place. Yeah, so I'm thinking this is like the rest of the day. After already becoming covered in the gunk and grime from the underside of the house, Orlest is then like kind of drops some drop cloths, probably not well, and is like outlining all the little squiggly runes around the house. Making them nice colors. Maybe it's a kind of gradient color pattern, like as it shifts around the house, it goes from one thing to the next. Just like really, really giving this his all.
Excellent. Well, if you succeed in completing chores, discuss a new minor improvement to the home and record it on the home sheet.
Nice.
What? Yeah, what improvement do we get? Do we think?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was trying to skip over to the home improvement to figure out what the options were there.
See, running and scurrying. And just another band-aid here, here. Just band-aids. That Orlest probably put on Mez because she's never seen, they've never seen a band-aid in their life.
Is there not a specific list? It definitely said like make an improvement, but I thought there was like.
I thought there was too, because there is a thing for it in the back of the book.
Okay.
I think we can just make it up then.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what the things were that we had outlined as inconveniences around the home. Besides that, it was not childproof enough originally.
Yeah, we fixed that. We fixed the fact that we didn't have rooms, didn't we?
Yeah, and we kind of discussed that we figured that out, sort of.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Oh, that Mez and I think it was either Mez or Enoch were not comfortable with the jumping house. So maybe that's the final thing we could do for the day is as we're up there cleaning. Do you have something, Ty?
No, you can go ahead. Go ahead. You can go first.
Okay, that was just like the idea I was throwing out is like, if we don't like, we could do something about the jumping to make it a little more stable in some way or another.
Yeah, I like that. I think, maybe we stabilize a little bit, and I think we, after the last adventure and like this adventure of like being a little uneasy with it, I think on the tablets the wizard gave us, there's a timer that says exactly when it's going to jump, when it's going to land. So we all like are now like, okay, here's how much time we have. Here's when we're gonna feel it, stuff like that.
I like that it's like one of those scenes in a movie where there's a big family going around doing everything, and they're all just like yelling out stuff that's going on, like they're getting packed, and everyone's like, "It's jump time!"
Yay!
We did it.
Did it? I didn't cross off any marks. Did anyone else?
I did. I brought alarming news from the outside world.
Yeah.
I learned that you have to be vigilant when you have a rival.
Marks. I don't know. Does convince someone else to care for the wizard when they won't care for themselves when I told Orlest to do something nice to the wizard?
Yeah,
Does that
absolutely.
count?
Okay,
Yay! Remember, if you think it counts, it probably does.
Yes, that is the rule in this game.
No.
I'd even say you probably crossed off the other one too, your last one.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can
you spent the
cross
entire
off
day
one.
fighting with a tick for us.
Yep. Sure did. I was thinking yes, but I didn't want to get greedy.
I mean, I
No,
crossed off
please
the
do
same.
get greedy. The more that
Yeah.
we have at the end, the better outcome our story will be.
Because, like,
So,
I mean, like, I crossed off 2 in one scene, and then I went like 3 scenes without crossing them off. It's just
Yeah.
whenever you think into place.
there are more scenes than there are marks, by the way. So,
Yeah.
like, it's totally fine if you go some without, and then.
Yeah, to give everyone a reference, we are about halfway done with Act 1 if we do every scene right now, because there are 9 scenes, and we are finished with 4 now.
Yes, Act 2 is shorter.
Correct.
Which is good.
Yeah. But it's back to Maria for scenes.
Oh, it's back to me. Okay.
It's back to you, the wizard.
Me, the wizard. That's me. Okay. But the dog just wants to bark.
It's the witching hour. It's usually when they go a little crazy and play.
Okay. Let's do. Oh dear. Okay. Let's do a stupid argument.
Ooh.
Two characters have a stupid argument about something trivial while at least one other person tries to de-escalate. We're all in the same house, so we can all be in the scene should you choose to be in the scene.
I choose to sit in the corner and not do anything.
Okay. Do you want to be like
watch this
okay?
happen.
So are you in the scene or are you just like are you in the scene from a flavor profile? Are you choosing to not de-escalate?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
excellent.
okay.
So you are in the scene from a flavor standpoint, but not an arguer or a de-escalator. Excellent.
Correct.
Okay.
This is too human and mundane for me.
Fantastic. So to set this up, the home used to be quite spacious, but there are more of you now, and sometimes the aggravation of feeling closely packed in means tempers can get a bit heated. What happens and how do you handle the situation? So, first, decide who will play the roles in the scene. We need two characters that are the arguers, and at least one person must be the de-escalator. Okay. The wizard's gonna be an arguer, I think.
Sounds right. Yeah, that for sure sounds right.
Oh, yeah.
Based on the whole, this house used to be big and now it feels real small, for some reason or other. Who am I arguing with? Jeez, who wants to argue? Met from a above table. Who wants to argue with me?
Who am I?
Who am I? Because I feel like, okay, no, I think logically speaking, I would not try to argue with a child. Let's put on my logic glasses here. I would not try to argue with a child. However, the argument.
But counterpoint, we have established a disagreement between them recently.
Also, would the wizard not argue with a child?
Okay, this is, you know what? The more that you say it, the more that I want to yell at a child.
Counterpoint, the exact opposite of what you said.
Come around.
Wouldn't they?
I've come around now and see your points.
I kind
I
of
like your argument, and I'd like to argue with you.
I would like to argue with you now.
I
Okay.
also like the idea that Orlast, in the 8 days or whatever that this has been going on, has gotten into the moody, like, preteen phase.
Wait, you know what this is? Okay, either you told the wizard or the wizard found out that you've been doing the void magic on the side without telling them.
Yes, correct.
This is where the argument is going to start. This is what's that's what's going to happen. I like the idea. Okay, so never mind. The question's going to get answered anyway. Okay, so we are currently we're going to be arguing about the. Okay, never mind. There's questions, and we get to answer these questions by doing things. Arguers, where are you when the argument starts, and what are you doing? What is the trivial disagreement that starts the argument, and why does it get heated? And why do each of you know that you are correct? Okay, so it definitely doesn't start about void magic. It's going to start about something else, and then be like, and also... So...
And another thing.
Okay. Oh my god, there's so many things. Okay.
Yeah. Can I throw one out and see
please.
if it bounces off of you, or whatever the version of that is you accepting.
Yes.
I don't know, catching the idea, I
Yeah.
guess.
Mhm.
I mean, I did just repaint all the runes on the house. How does the wizard feel about someone else taking that job?
Okay.
Because that could go either way.
Yeah.
It could be you think
Yeah.
they're chill with that, or it's you did what?
So I like to imagine that what we're doing is we're just taking a little walk around.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if like you're coming at it from a place of like, hey, let me show you what I did while you were, sleeping for 5 days. And Wiz is, following you around and is, seeing some of the extra work that you had done, and then you get to the rune parts, and they just kind of look at them and they're like, oh, those definitely were needing a little bit of work. That's nice. And then just sees how you start to like vary the colors, and like doesn't really mention it for a while, and then the colors start to get like really out there, and they say, okay, so what you've done is all of that was fine, great, it was acceptable. The thing with colors is, though, some of them do have different properties, so actually we are gonna have to redo some of these, because this particular rune gets angry when it's a specific kind of color, and that's just gonna, we might as well just redo all of them at this point, now that I'm thinking about it.
The rune seems like it's fine, and I like go up to one that's like maybe what color do you think this rune would find distasteful?
So honestly, it's complete what they're saying, complete and absolute BS. Like, there's literally no reason that like the runes would have to be a specific color. In fact,
but it's not the aesthetic.
Yeah, in fact, you literally know that all of these runes were just a kaleidoscope of color before. So like,
I rolled a 10. I won.
Yeah, you did.
I know.
But like, yeah, it's probably like a deep purple, but it's like, on part of the wood that's like a very dark color, so you can't really see it very well.
Well, this is the incognito one, so I thought it'd be good if there's a dark purple and it goes on the dark wood color, so you can't see it, and it's kind of thematic, and that it kind of brings all the magical properties together. You see? Right.
That's not. Listen, I know that you're still learning. So we kind of let it slide a little bit. But, a golden color would probably be better here, because, you can see that there's a rune here, so people don't do, things that they shouldn't with my house, or, get in situations that they shouldn't. With, the house or those others who might live in the house. You know how that is, how that might be the case sometimes?
No, I just thought it'd be nice if for our house we could just, the rooms need repainting. The one for the upstairs window was kind of chipping, and it seemed like that was not especially well worded. I don't think that that's the case. I think that the wards were nothing has ever happened to this. I think the wards are perfectly fine. But also, where did you study magic? From you. I learned this all from you.
Right. And we're doing a walk around, by the way, Ty, of the runes that Orless had painted.
Nice.
And
look at this nice thing I did.
Like, magically perfectly sound, absolutely perfect. Visually not at all up to the wizard's taste.
Nice.
And so that's where
aesthetically unpleasing.
Aesthetically unpleasing to the wizard only to the wizard.
Mez is just gargoyled in a corner on top of a bookshelf.
So is that where you guys are outside, or you guys are inside right now? What room are we in?
I think we're just like in a hallway, kind of as part of the thing. As you like, we're kind of describing what we're doing when the argument starts.
Yeah.
And this is a trivial disagreement that is starting the argument. And it's starting to get a little heated because the wizard is starting to question, does Orless know anything about magic? And it's eventually going to lead into other stuff about magic. So, to your response of like, well, I learned all my magic from you, the wizard clasps their hands and says, yes. Yes, you did. You've learned all of the magic you know from me, and I know all magic pretty much. And so I think that would make me kind of the person to know what color this rune should be, and also what kind of magic is helpful and safe for, say, a house or the people in the house. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, but the runes I think are working just fine. And I think pick up an object and it's like, see, like I boarded that the little like roof tile there and just like throw a thing at it and it like plunks off a magical barrier. It's like, see, warded. And then do that a couple more times, like warded.
And it's like looking, but like is very like quickly losing patience at like, this child is not gonna best me. What are you talking about? And oh, what do they they will, I think as you go to throw another one, they'll like put their hand on like, whatever you're holding. You're throwing stuff from inside the house is what I think is funny. So like maybe you've got that
Run
like
inside,
little,
grab a tea mug, just
yeah, maybe they like grab the teacup like from your hand as you go back, and then you go to throw and there's nothing in there. And they put it down, and a little bit forcefully, and say, there is one wizard in this house, and it is me. You know how to use magic, but I don't think you are quite to the level of understanding yet to use magic the way that you are. So I need to establish something. Did you tell them that you did void magic, or is that something?
I think no, and I was trying to
Okay.
decide.
Cool.
Well, I was trying to figure out like per how the de-escalation factor of the scene and or this argument escalating before it de-escalates. Does Enoch end up in here before we get to that point of the scene, or is it when it blows up that we get an Enoch in the scene?
Aim for whatever you guys think. Sure, whatever you all think is best.
Well, it asks you questions too as the
it's me.
de-escalator.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
What are you doing when the fight
what do you do when
started?
the fight gets-
Yeah.
How do you get involved?
Why do you get involved? Yeah.
I think Enoch was talking to Mez, or at least like just chatting mundane stuff about the tick problem that we had the other day and stuff like that. I think Enoch would wait. Enoch wouldn't get involved when it's like mundane, like this kind of basic magic stuff, because Enoch doesn't have any understanding of magic. But once he saw the conversation, like if it got heated to like that degree about the void magic, I think that's when he would get involved.
Okay.
Cool.
That seems fair.
Yeah. So that's where we're at then, is that they have now said to you, I'm Wizard Big Magic. Maybe you shouldn't be casting magic. Is the gist of what they're saying to you.
I
Yeah,
was just
so I
gonna
think
go, are you gonna do something about this?
we cut over to them.
Mez
There.
eating popcorn.
You gonna go stir the pot over there for me?
Do you think I should? I don't know much about magic. I don't think I have much say in that.
I don't care, but I don't know if you've noticed, but it is affecting you. It's, you just kind of like you are more watching them than talking with Mez.
Yeah.
And Mez is just like,
suppose that's true. Do you have any? I think that you don't want to step in and be like, "Well, I'm the grandest magic. I magic lord."
No.
Yeah, you don't.
Because I don't care about that conversation. It's literally asking whether there's glitter on something or not, and it works.
All right. Any advice?
You're asking me for advice
Yes.
on human things. If you tell him it's stupid, would that be good?
No, I can't. I don't imagine that'd be good for anybody. Do you, like, maybe your magic perspective? Like, do you have any advice? Like, oh, maybe use this sort of. A wand? I haven't seen any wands around here. But
I think just going back to the thing of, I think they're talking more aesthetics than actual usefulness.
Oh.
Because whatever Orless did, it does work. It just doesn't look like Wiz wants it to look, and it's not important in general. So, whatever nice way of saying that, maybe.
all right.
I'd love
Doesn't
to know
really
what
nod, but...
what Orless has to say about you're not allowed to use magic.
Yeah.
you don't. I mean, like, didn't say that directly, but is basically being like, I'm the one who casts the magic around here.
I pay the magic bills around here. I make the magic rules. I think does the like awful snarky like preteen teen thing of just like under their breath just being like, I don't know, pretty good void teleportal got us out of danger earlier.
The teacup cracks. just you did what?
But when we were
Did what?
when the house hopped away from us, we were in danger and we were scared, and I made a portal.
And where did that?
Through the void.
How did that go? Because if I remember right, it did not go anywhere good at all.
Well, it took us right to you.
It
so
did.
That works.
It for sure did not do that. And in fact, one could say that poor use of magic that I told you not to use is what led me to having that whole experience, negative experience. It was not a good time for me physically. So I think now is a great time to talk about consequences of your actions. This is a very like
Enoch will interrupt as much as I enjoy the scene.
Mez is just like, that's rich. Consequences?
Yeah, I know, right? Like I tasted the hypocrisy on my own lips, but also the wizard doesn't care.
Have you considered that if you just cheated and didn't do the game right, we could have gotten into a magic duel? Because I don't think we were that far. There was not that many
Roll
sentences
initiative
between point A and point B.
Yeah.
How do I draw the attention of the arguers? I think seeing the teacup crack and seeing things get more heated and the conversation change, Enoch approaches and first instinct is to change the subject and says, "Wizard, are you all right?" Like tries to pick up the pieces of the teacup but can't. Incorporeal hand. Do you need any sort of
Enoch, not now. This is magic stuff, and I know you don't quite understand it. It's just give us just a moment.
Well, I mean, if tempers are getting this heated to where things are getting broken, I think perhaps we need to take a step back and have tea. Have tea that's not broken.
The tea may not be broken, but this family will never be the same. I think they'll raise their voice and they'll say, "This doesn't concern you, Enoch."
Yeah, I think I do the opposite. I'm like, no, Enoch, tell him. I did a void magic portal. Get him. Get their ass. No, Enoch, you saw me do a void magic portal, and we were trapped out in the wild. Would have gotten eaten by, and I like check to make sure Stumpy's not around. Wild animals probably, and I just teleported us to a nice safe basement, and it was all okay from there.
I don't think you realize the potential danger that you were in just being in that space. If Theris had found out that you all were there and that you were connected to me, that would have been absolutely catastrophic. Just the worst. The absolute worst. So what you did put not only yourself in danger, but also me and this house. And quite possibly a whole lot of other things, because you made a little tiny decision to do a big magic that you were not ready for.
You really are trying to get Mez involved with this, aren't you?
Listen, you can become a de-escalator at any time.
Just show up.
You're in this scene.
At this point, a lot of wind is going to pick up in the room, and to a point where it just makes such a cacophony of sound that it like, do you know that sound, that like white noise that like cancels out sound?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You are continuing to speak, but not being heard. And all you hear above that is Mez's voice, which is a lot bigger than any of y'all are used to, especially since they don't ever really use their power in any type of fashion like this. I believe that this conversation has gone on far too long, and it is no longer entertaining. Or lest you were indeed careless with your magic, and you have a lot to learn. And you did well on the wards, though aesthetically they were not along the lines that the Wiz is accustomed to. Maybe that's something we can learn moving forward. And Wiz, any matter, magic or not, affects everyone in this house, and therefore they all have a say whether they're able to use the magic as much as you have or not. Are we done? And the wind will die down.
This is my house, though.
And I am trapped in it because of why. So right now, it is our house. You think I want to be here? Do you think I want to not be able to step out that door? Be free? Be whole? Do you see this? They show like the solid form of their body. Do you think I like this? You were complaining about how a ward looks. It works. Move on. And then you escalated it. For what purpose? To show off? You are magnificent, Wiz. You are so powerful. And yet the more you use your power, who bears the consequences? Because I can guarantee it's not you. Or lest. Go make dinner. Enoch,
Yeah.
should you need me, I will be in my room. And they will turn and walk out the door.
I think the wizard just kind of like stares off into space a little bit. It is not used to being spoken to in such a manner. Or less, I think you just need a little bit of extra help to make it all good. The magic and the rune situation. So I will teach you how to do void magic safely and not so much teleportation. That's I'm very impressed you were able to pull that off, but also you should not have been able to do that and get out unscathed. So I apologize for my rudeness. You are a magical person and should be able to use it in your own special ways, but also safely.
I'm sorry that I did the rune colors wrong. I know that upset you, and I'll take that into account next time. I'll let you pick the schemas on that. And I'll not do the void magic without supervision and further training. So, is that all of it?
I think so.
Okay. Looks to see if Mez is gonna come back and yell. I think I said all the apologies that I was supposed to.
Was fun.
We just had a little yell.
They don't know what to say to Enoch, so they just kind of like. Oh, go ahead.
Enoch's still like trying to be farther away, but like still trying to pick up the teacup, and it's just like taking for like either misses one or like it goes super slow to pick it up and like super slow tries to put it on the table.
He doesn't. The wizard doesn't quite know how to go about apologizing to Enoch, so they're just gonna leave.
Good. Smart. Yeah.
Just gonna go. I'll figure it out. Excellent. Aftermath. Was anything broken? A teacup.
The teacup.
The teacup.
How do
and
y'all
some
fix it
feelings.
together? We don't.
that doesn't happen.
We leave it for Enoch. Enoch knows best.
Mez's single feeling.
This is one feeling. Arguers, that's us. How are you more considerate of each other's feelings in the future? The wizard acknowledges other people have feelings.
What a good start for the wizard.
Acknowledging feelings. That's very important.
Yep. But also throughout that whole experience, I am going to mark down that I deflected responsibility for a situation I created.
Yeah.
I am so proud of you.
The whole thing literally was... well, the house jumped away from us. So...
All right, and then how am I more considerate of the wiz's feelings? One, recognizing that the house is, while we are all cohabitating, the wizard is very protective of their house, and we'll just keep that in the back of our mind here. And they've been living here a long time. We're all just trying to figure that out. So we're gonna open communication lines on that front, and then no unsupervised void magic, but I am gonna be a little turd about asking to do the void magic lessons.
Amazing. Excellent.
Just feel like Mez is like, I have done nothing wrong in my life.
If you did anything that deserves a mark it down, write your thing that you learned. I learned that what I do carries weight that affects others, even in ways I don't fully understand. Wow, growth. We're learning.
Wizard learned that other
Wizard
people
learned.
are not just manifestations of their own being.
I did a star. It says complain
Nice.
about being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Oh, hell
yeah.
yeah.
That's your big one.
That's the one you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you gotta
did-
do it.
I did that.
Yay.
Look, I was angling at the start, but it didn't get that heated, so we didn't quite get there.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome.
I-
It's Alex's turn, right?
Yeah.
Please, so.
Yes. Okay. Well, I think following that, I feel like Midnight Confessions should be a thing. Right? Where is that?
Yeah.
We're going Midnight Confessions. The situation in the outside world continues to worsen, and sometimes it's easier to voice our secret fears in the dark of night than in the harsh light of day. How do you let down your barriers, and what do you confess? The setup game is for the demon and one other player. The demon will act as confidant. Aww.
We could probably.
And the other player will be the confessor. The scene occurs at midnight when everyone else is asleep.
We could probably flip that around if there's something that
Yeah.
you were like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
feel like
says
Or
can
can
the
both.
demon
Yeah.
can the demon
Yeah.
be a confessor?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. I would like to do this scene with Enoch.
Interesting choice.
Delightful.
Love that.
Yes. Because,
Oh, I see why. Because of the next sentence. We could still change it though.
Well,
It's because earlier that day you were alone when something happened in the outside world. That's why they had it. So I was confident. But we can change
I
it.
literally stopped reading
Yeah.
and I just kind of did my own thing in my brain, which was this whole fight thing got escalated, and then the whole thing in the outside world happened, and so Mez, for the first time ever, is afraid. And I don't think Mez feels comfortable right now with the wizard to talk to them about that, and definitely not going to talk to a child about it. So that leaves the wise Enoch.
Sure. Yeah. I like it.
Yes, cool. Starting the scene earlier that day, you were alone when something happened that made you more worried about danger from the outside world, something that you didn't talk to anyone about. What happened, i.e. a run-in with the enemy's henchmen, flyover, blah, 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 blah. Why didn't you tell anyone about it, and why can't you stop thinking about it? Where does the scene take place? Describe a few sensory details. It's obvious that the confessor is troubled. Confidant, do you ask them what's wrong or approach the subject more indirectly? Confessor, normally you would disclaim your worries, but this time you respond honestly. Tell the confidant what happened and why you're worried. Cool. I will say this follows the events of y'all's craziness. And, yeah, them leaving that whole argument and trying to be as calm and even getting involved in the first place is very uncharacteristic of Mez. Enoch, you probably hear them pacing outside your room. You just hear, like, footsteps come up to the door and then away from the door. And then, like, another minute, come up to the door and away from the door. That probably happens, like, an annoyingly amount of time.
Yeah, if it's midnight, Enoch will for sure wake up like hearing this noise. I don't think he's a super heavy sleeper. And we'll open the door to the shed. Hello, Mez. It's quite late. Did you need something?
I think so. I think I do. I've not ever done this before, and you seem... I mean, you were going to break up the fight earlier, and I assume you're open to people talking to you about troubles?
I would say that perhaps I didn't do the best job of breaking up the fight, but I'm here to listen if you'd like to say something.
May I come in and sit?
Yes. Brings you
They'll
into the small shed.
We'll walk in and go to sit and like try to get comfortable. Not really sure because they've like not really had like a butt really, and so it's just like nothing is comfortable. And just because, and you can see them like it's like having a tag on that they can't quite get to. But finally, they just stand back up. You obviously can notice the difference with me.
I mean, yes, I've noticed you seem, your corporeal form seems a little different than before, but once again, I'm not exactly familiar with this whole magic world, so,
What happened today with the wizard? Did they perhaps pull on more than they should have?
When does this scene take? You mean like
that night? Like it was like that night, and then like we did chores, and then like the fight happened. So like I guess the next day. Sorry. When did the whole?
That was because there was an 8-day period where we did chores, and after that happened.
Yeah.
Then I would say the argument brought up the.
Yeah, the argument brought up the situation that had happened.
Okay,
right
so like a week ago.
A week ago.
Yeah.
Sorry, auditory processing. It's always fun.
Everything is all timey-wimey. It's fine.
What happened 8 days ago?
Well, I'm not sure if how much the wizard told you, but me and Orlest, we're taking somebody for a walk. The house happened to jump away at an inopportune time that we were not planning, so we were alone in the forest, and Orlest attempted a spell, and they teleported us to a unknown location. Shortly after the wizard came, we were in some sort of basement where there were several other beings that looked similar to me. The wizard told me afterward that they were servants of the High Magister. I don't quite remember his name, but that they were perhaps enemies of some sort, or someone that the wizard had a sordid past with. And after some uses of magic, the wizard managed to get us out. But seemed very taxed by the process. There was a point where they kind of disappeared and created a large portal. And then we were back. I think that is a pretty decent summation of it.
Are you aware of the connection between the wizard and I?
No, not. The wizard has not told me anything.
We seem to have found ourselves a bit bound to each other. It was a moment of peril for us both. And in that moment, we made a pact. The thing is, the pact is about balance, and the more they use, the more consequences happen. And one of those is I become a little more human, and I believe they become a little more less. And I can honestly say, for the first time in my life, I am afraid.
Okay, I would like to, mechanically, I would like to, I think normally you would go first, but if it's okay, I'd like to go first.
Yeah,
I would
please.
like to ask you the question, secret fears, because that seems to be the most apt in this moment. So I ask, as far as I understand from the rules here, it sounds like I ask the first question, and then I respond to the second one myself, or the second the prompt, and then you pick from this list as well after.
Got it. Okay.
So the prompt is, what are your fears for the future, not just your rational? I think that's me asking you. I would assume. I think I'm reading this right. Do you guys, everyone else, agree? It's worded a little oddly.
The player selects a moment, will ask the first question, and the other player will answer the second question.
Oh, I see. So I would.
You would ask,
myself, or am I asking?
No, you would ask them, what their fears are, and then.
But
then you do the respond by sharing your secret fear back.
That's what. Maybe that would make sense, but it's phrased a little.
How about you do it how you would want to do it?
Well, because if you look at the other ones, like ask for a promise, you ask for a promise to be fulfilled if the absolute worst comes to pass. The second one is, do you promise? Do you refuse? Do you ask for a promise in return? So it is, one of you does point 1, and then the other does point 2.
So that would make sense if I. Yeah. Wait.
Yeah. So if you asked Mez, what are your fears for the future, et cetera, Mez would respond by sharing their secret fear.
Oh, okay.
And then if Mez asked for a promise to be fulfilled,
I see.
if the worst comes to pass,
I get it. You're right.
Respond with do you promise, et cetera, et cetera.
Thank you, Maria. What are your fears for the future? Not just your rational fears, but also the secret fears you have trouble articulating even to yourself. So I think Enoch would ask, well, I know this sensation is perhaps new to you, this fear, so I'm here to listen. Like I said, I don't know how much advice I could give would be helpful of, but what exactly is it that you're afraid of here?
If I become fully human, then what is my purpose then? Who am I if I'm not what I was born?
If you become human, then you'll be the same as you are now. You'll be one of us, a member of this family, and nothing will change except your physical form.
Trapped in a house with the rest of my days with someone who almost seems as though they siphon with no regard. Do I just?
If that were to come to pass, would you trade your power for being able to leave this house? Or would you keep the power you have and be bound here? If that were the choice, once again. No.
I'm not saying that I don't like being here. I think it's a tough question to answer because I don't know. I don't know who I am without it. And there are things that I'm learning now that are quite confusing. Comfort, stillness, family, caring.
Are these sensations things you like or don't like?
I think I like them. But it's almost like being captive. Do you like your captivator because you have no other choice? Or do you like them because they are perhaps something fate knew that you needed? I don't know. I am afraid of all these feelings because they are so new and they hurt. The wizard saying that was their home, not ours. For some reason, it hurt. I'm not used to hurt.
Then perhaps if you are feeling this way about the wizard and the wizard's statement, you could discuss with them how you're feeling. I mean, I've always been inclined to believe that being open with your emotion is healthier than keeping it bottled up, even if it's new and you don't quite understand it. I don't think keeping it inside will be the benefit of anyone. You are inexorably linked to the wizard, and they are sharing their home, you are sharing your power. I think just being honest is a good first step.
I think they would be receptive to it.
I think there's only one way to find out.
I feel like we did like all of those. Like, I feel like
I think you have to ask me one though. I think that's the trade-off. Is that
ask what are your secret fears?
No, ask me any of the other options.
Oh, okay.
I think as far as I'm understanding this. Yeah, because we can choose to do 3 moments, but no more than 3. We can do 2 or 3. So I did the first one, you choose the second one.
So one of a dream for the future, ask for a promise, reveal
Correct.
a truth, ask for advice. Okay. And we did what?
You did
Secret
the first
fears.
one, yeah.
Okay. And so I have to choose one of the other 4.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I will ask for a promise. I see that at the core, the wizard is most important for not only keeping the home together, but keeping you and Orlest safe, despite how they use their powers without abandon. My powers. If it comes down to the wizard's humanity, or me becoming human, I need you to promise that you save their humanity. I was born the way I was. Now that I have some form of feeling, I don't know if I want somebody to not care.
I mean, that is... I would love to be able to help you, but I am the least capable member of this household. I have no abilities. I don't know how I would go about saving the wizard's humanity or saving the wizard at all if things came to pass.
You think that in that moment, power and touch is going to save somebody's humanity? Have you and the wizard not formed some form of a connection? Or have my eyes deceived me?
I think I've made a connection. I'd like to think I've made a connection with everyone here in some way or the other.
Hopefully it's strong enough if the time comes.
Just kind of takes a minute and like very, very slightly nods.
Well, this has been awkward enough. So do you promise, do you refuse, or do you ask? For
Somewhere in the middle.
return?
Enoch for sure doesn't ask anything in return, but like, I don't think all he gives you is like the nod that he will make an attempt. He doesn't feel comfortable promising that he knows what to do or he's capable in that moment, but promises to try.
Mez will start to walk towards the door and stop and uncharacteristically look back with something positive and go, I think if the time ever comes, you'll be surprised by how much power you do have. And then we'll exit and head back to there.
Enoch will stay awake for probably a couple more hours, unable to fall asleep, thinking about everything. Has a midnight raspberry jam snack. Or like 2 a.m. jam snack at this point.
Their stomach glows in the dark.
Yeah.
I hadn't even considered, yeah.
I can't really eat, so it's just like the jam jar just goes into the void.
Yeah, it's Casper physics, where it just kind of falls into you.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, talk about the wizard with the curse, either behind their back or in front of them.
What? I'm angry. What?
Angry.
The aftermath is... Why is the moment lost? I think it just kind of ended, I think.
Yeah.
How do you act around each other come morning? I think Enoch acts normal, maybe like slightly not embarrassed. Like I think you can tell it's still on his mind the next day. Is what I would say. That's how he acts.
I think Mez regards you with more warmth than they're used to. Definitely more than he's used to.
All right. And cross off your marks if you have any.
And also write down if you learned something.
I crossed off that Enoch refuses to hear anything good about himself.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Doesn't think he can do anything, doesn't think he can help anyone.
Buddy.
Oh no.
I know, tag yourself, that one's me.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But I think he learns that at least Mez values Enoch higher than he thought. Or he's valued, I guess, is valued in some way higher than he thought he was.
Tears. I cry.
And I cry out all my tears.
Awesome. Back to Zach.
Right.
Zach.
How you guys feeling on time?
Yeah, I meant to message that during that scene, that
Okay.
time check.
Well, we can end if you guys want. We can do another scene. It's up to you, everyone.
I'm doing okay. It's 10 o'clock, but I'm doing all right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to
Yeah.
do one more and see?
Yeah.
Because we
I
only
think
have.
we'll
Yeah.
How many do we have?
3.
3? Okay.
3 and then the climax. If we want to do them all, we do not have to do them all.
True. Yeah.
Tis true.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 9 o'clock here for me, so I'm good for at least a little bit more.
Oh, I will say that I learned that Mez may desire to be more human than they originally thought.
Uh-huh. I
Oh,
like that one.
Ooh.
it will. He's so cute. Y'all no one told me this game was this wholesome. It's a lie.
Yeah.
It's a lie. We all knew.
Yeah.
Wholesomeness in my Ghibli inspired
My
universe.
Ghibli games.
But I got to whisper intimidate.
You
Yeah.
gotta do spooky whispers.
I love spooky whispers. Like
Spooky whispers are good.
nothing like there's this movie called The Gentleman, which I fucking love. It's got Charlie Hunnam and Matthew McConaughey, and like I fucking love it. It's ridiculous. It's a Guy Ritchie movie, but I love it. And Charlie Hunnam plays like Matthew McConaughey's right hand man, and he is like so controlled, calm the entire time that like, but it's in a way where it's like this man could probably obliterate you.
Amazing.
But it's just like it's that calm that's like you really don't want to see what happens if he's even like above that calm. Oof. And so that's what I felt like. I'm like, yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Incredible.
Zach.
All right. It's me. I go now. I would like to take a trip to the market. In this
Going
game,
on a trip.
this game is for the me and anyone else who wishes to participate, except the demon, because house
Stuck
stuff.
in a house.
I'd like to suggest that at the very least, Orlest is like, the wizard and I have had some weird moments, and this is like, I'm trying to learn how to communicate. It's like, hey, like, go to you, like, would you like to come with? We got to pick out stuff for the house. Can you make sure that I don't get yelled at by picking the wrong stuff?
By being a child in a normal city.
Yeah. Yeah, like, it's a quick little, like, kind of early morning, like, early morning weekend vibes, like, go knock on wherever the wizard is at. I'm like, hey, I think we need to get some things from the market. Could you come with to help me pick out the stuff?
So I think for more flavor, lore stuff, it's you knock on the wizard's secret normal door.
Mm-hmm. The secret normal door.
For, I think, a brief moment, you see into the wizard's secret normal spot. And the house is like a lot. There's a lot of everything everywhere in the house. This room it looks like a very plain bedroom / study. As if you could have plucked it from like a seaside village somewhere, like a very small, quaint place. But it's it's a very quick look as the wizard opens it and then very quickly like scoots out and closes it behind them and says, shopping. Yes, we are about to land outside. Yes. We should stop while we can, before we get back into the deep wilds.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we'll land and we can go into town. Maybe we can roll creating a list while we're giving Enoch a second to BRB. We make a list. We roll 3 times to create a shopping list of 3 items according to this list. I'm going to take turns rolling them. I'll grab the first one. So I rolled a 7, which is food and basic ingredients. Yeah, we probably could use those. We used all of them that were even close to food days ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we go for food. We go for imported delicacies. You know we're getting that good coffee.
Ooh, nice.
You know we are.
Gotta get. Well, we can't get tea because we broke the 1 teacup we have.
We broke the 1 teacup that we had. So we get food. I like how coffee is separate from food, which I don't know. You can make coffee a meal.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. This we know.
And then you.
All right. I got another 7. I'm gonna re-roll.
You can re-roll it.
Or delicacies.
More delicacies?
What if... I'm just going to roll until I get an 8, 9, or a 10 plus. I'm not going to get any of those. We're going to be here all night. Hey, I got 8.
Okay, cool.
Household goods and other non-magical, non-food items. Clothes, plates, silverware, baskets, umbrella. Oh, I think I've written down replacement mugs on the shopping list I have put together. Maybe I've written down, like, food, and I've written down replacement mugs, and you're like, give me the, like, did you put coffee on the list, kid?
Did you put coffee on the list? We're getting those good beans.
We gotta get the beans.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we go. The house, I think it's going to be a little bit of a walk because the house kind of stops not right next to where we have to go.
We don't have to do this, but alternative option that it does have in the little intro paragraph is, thankfully, you have a dedicated portal to the market district for this purpose.
Oh, hell yes.
How do you feel on that portal?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
We're gonna do a little portaling.
100%. And I use it as a learning, like I start to cast it and then I'm like, hang on. All right. You don't do this yet.
Well, can I help? Can I?
You can learn. Don't do it yet.
But
you gotta learn. You gotta learn first.
If we both go, maybe we can see how big of a portal we can make.
We don't need a big portal. It's just the two of us.
Okay.
We're just going to the market.
Okay.
So they'll like take you like a little bit, like the very basic step-by-steps of portal, because maybe you did it mostly on instinct or something like that. It's mostly what you did, but yeah. So like step-by-steps of like, here's how to actually get to where you want to go. And we'll like do woo woo boop, and voila, void portal.
I can put my hand in it just to see what happens.
Just kind of like unceremoniously give you like a little push into it.
Just like kind of hop along, like
jump
cut market scene music.
Yep. I think like over just sprouting in whatever places that you happen to be in, Enoch and Mez, there's just a little like one of those like speakers, like a bullhorn speaker that kind of pops in the corner, and it's just the Wiz's voice saying, "We're going out."
Be back. Not even be back soon, just leaving.
We're out. We out. Excellent. So now we're in the market. I think that it's a smaller, well, no, because we're going to the market. So I think actually it's in, all right, I think it's in the big city. The big city that like the
big city.
The Wiz got their magic from. So the Wiz has to go incognito. What that means is, as they step out of the portal, they are in some of the most boring ass clothes you have ever seen them wear in their entire life. They don't have their glasses on. They're just wearing like kind of neutral like browns and yellows and maybe some like palish red, like maybe a vest and a jacket over top. They look unrecognizable. Maybe they do still have glasses on, but they're like, instead of, the kind of blue tinted glasses, they're just like shade. They're just like, they're the same glasses, but they're just black.
They're Groucho Marx shades.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Orlest is dressed mostly the same in the slightly oversized wizard adjacent clothing that they have picked up from, around the house. Like it's nondescript enough. Excellent. It's like, yeah, this is what kids look like, right?
They dress in their parents' clothes all the time.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I added something secret to the list that I will share narratively when it comes up. But at each stop, we roll 2d6 to determine how successful we are in finding what we are after. So first up is food, separate from coffee.
Food. There's food and there's coffee, and we all know this as people outside of game.
So, do you want to look for food and I will look for coffee?
Sure. Like that it's like, let's offer this as a way for us to like, get some time together and make up, and it's like, all right, kids, split up. We gotta make this quick.
Well, I'm just thinking rolling wise. I think that we're actually going together.
Okay, gotcha. All right, food's a ding dang mixed success.
All right.
So let's read that. They have the item you're looking for, but a much higher price. Decide whether you will pay extra or do without. You pay extra, you must cross another item off your list. Yeah, so we maybe like find the little like food vendor at the market district, but this is the fancy food.
Yeah. Lewis kind of looks at the list, looks at the food. There's like a little tiny bit of a grumble that comes from their stomach, and probably mirrored by Orlest's. and they like begrudgingly cross off like replacement mugs. But then you see that there's something like scribbled underneath it, but like they're too quick to, you know, they like fold it back up and put it away.
Yeah, you've taken over the list at this point.
Yeah.
And montage of us like looking at food. I'm just like holding up fruits that I have never seen before, because I assume we don't eat well like on the fruits and vegetables thing we've established.
It's mostly a carb-based diet, carb and sugar-based diet. This is correct.
The wizard eats like a gremlin and doesn't know how to care for other human bodies.
Yes.
Also, the other two are, who knows what they need.
That's true. Yeah.
So all around not going well.
I'll tell you what we do definitely absolutely find while we're doing our food searching and everything like that. We 100% successfully find coffee at a good price. Like at a
Heck
real
yeah.
good price. It's a good time with the coffee situation. We get a couple of different roasts.
Yeah, there's a very fancy roastery there that's like peddling their wares.
Yeah, there's like a blonde coffee, but then there's like translucent coffee that's like, it's crystal coffee actually. So like it's like real good stuff. Like we only get like this much of it, and like this is the special coffee. Like this is the special coffee.
Can we say that these like stalls are nearby each other?
Yes.
Like there's coffee and then there's food. So like we're not like splitting up, but we're each like grabbing things.
Yes.
However, and Orles.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes.
You go
ahead.
You go first.
I just want Orles to come back with like a big like watermelon type of thing, like some very large food. It's like, look what I found.
That is going to taste really great. That's going to be very good. Excellent.
There's a lot of it.
There's a lot of it that'll last us for a bit. Good.
It'll last for weeks.
Well,
I've been needing to ask. I didn't want to say it around but do Mez and Enoch, it seems like they eat, but how does that work?
I don't know if they need to. I think maybe it's habit for Enoch. I don't think Mez needs to eat.
I definitely saw Mez eat, not to bring it up again, but I saw Mez eating popcorn during our
I think that they
the thing
like
the other day.
So I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's a good question. We'll have to ask. Maybe we'll get two of those.
Are we allowed to ask that?
Well, if they need to eat, we need to make sure that they can eat, right?
You can't just ask somebody.
Okay, I'll get a second one. Sets it on the ground, takes backpack off. It's like one of those like flap top bags. Shoves the one watermelon down in it, flaps it over, and then goes and puts another one.
Oh, wait, hang on. The wizard, before you go, when or when they see that you're about to put this in your bag, they like come over and they tie an extra knot or two on the strings that like to tie the bag closed. They tie like an extra couple of knots, and they say, "All right, you should be able to fit them both in there now. You now have a big. Trust me."
Okay. Seeing I've put one watermelon that, as far as physical contents wise, seems to be taking this whole thing up. I'm like,
watermelon.
Yeah, and you do that, and then it just kind of disappears. It just kind of keeps going in.
Goes in there.
Yeah.
Now, a follow-up question on this magic.
Don't lose Stumpy in there.
No, no, of course not. Stumpy doesn't go in the bag. We know this.
Also, don't go in the bag.
At all?
If you do, leave a note in case you can't get out.
Okay. I can do that.
Okay.
This is my above table question. Is the bag equally as heavy as it would have been, or is okay?
No, it's like it's like
bag
this is
heavy. An extremely heavy bag.
No, it's like bag heavy.
Yeah,
You have a bag of holding, basically.
Yeah.
While the child is going to go and get more food, the wizard is going to go off and buy this sweet bean some fancy wizard clothes that fit. This technically is a fourth thing, so I did kind of futz the rules. It's more for flavor than anything else. It's technically under house.
It says those are guidelines.
Yeah.
So roll just to see. Well, it was a 7, so I think We don't have anything else on our list, but I think what they do is they end up trading, like, some of the jewelry and stuff that they were wearing in order to get, you know, and it's maybe not, like, the flashiest clothes that they wanted to get. So, like, when they come back to where you are, and they're not gone very long, they have, like, a couple of, like, wrapped boxes and are wearing a little less jewelry than they were before.
Which was even mostly hidden at that point,
That's
to
true.
my understanding.
Yeah, that's true.
I think you come back and Orlest is in kind of the main little walking area of this. I'm imagining it like kind of a farmer's market-y, open air market type of situation.
Yeah.
And there's maybe some nice townfolk who are up, you know, oogling over Stumpy, who has been brought along on some sort of makeshift leash. They're all just like, you know, doing the thing where you find a dog out and about and you're like, oh yes, let's play with this friend.
Let's touch this lad.
It's just this child and a bunch of adults that are like playing with this weird little animal that's like rolled over and is getting tummy pets.
Yeah, I think for one of the first times in a hot minute, maybe for the first time Orlest would see as best as you can with the shades and everything. The wizard looks uncomfortable, nervous, with this many people just kind of around. So they don't get too terribly close to wherever you are. They'll just kind of like have like, they'll just put like a hand up to their face, like they're kind of like coughing or yawning or something like that, and you'll hear kind of like a whisper next to your ear of the wizard saying, I think it's time to go. It's time to go.
Yeah. So, or let's get some from like the squat by Stumpy where they're showing everyone all of Stumpy's cool features, like the little glowy tail and the tufts of fur, and like gets up and it's like, oh, bye everybody. My friend is here and we gotta head back to the house. And then just like leaves from this group of people.
Okay, gotta go bye.
Go. Why was that? It's
leave
leave time now.
Amazing.
We did it.
On your
now
way back from
we're
the
returning
market,
home.
something happens that highlights the growing threat of war and escalates the danger facing the family. Consult the following list according to the number of shopping successes you achieved. So we got any other result.
Yeah, so yeah, because we had two mixed, two fails.
Which is amazing.
Ooh.
You narrowly managed to avoid stumbling into wizard's enemy or their henchmen who are searching the market for someone or something. You're shaken when you finally make it home. All right, I think because I didn't read through this. I didn't realize this was the implications of this, because I was like, oh, we're going back to like the home base, like the big city home base where, you know, this person just is all the time.
I'm also seeing, have the demon describe what happens according to the prompts. Participating players then describe how they respond and make it safely back home.
Okay.
How delightful.
So demon, we got the wizard enemy and or their henchmen.
I think both.
And they're
I think
searching.
I think it's enemy and henchman.
I would love to see the enemy make a full appearance.
Yeah,
here
enemy
as we're
and
like
henchman.
closing out
They're-
Act 1.
Absolutely.
Okay, and we're doing the trip to the market. Let me put my glasses
Yeah, so
back
it's
on I can
page
actually
28.
read. Yep.
The right side.
On your way
column.
back home from the market, something happens that highlights the growing threat of war and escalates the danger facing the family.
We're
Consult
doing the
following
any
list.
other results option.
You narrowly manage to avoid stumbling into wizard's enemy or their henchmen who are searching the market for something or someone. You're shaken when you finally make it home. Okay. Cool. Like any type of visualization of a growing threat is the sudden reveal of it affecting people around them. So as Orlest and Wiz are heading through the market, what starts out as just ambient talking and going about and noise turns to a ruckus of some sort as voices turn from conversational to panicked, and it draws the Wiz's attention over beyond where, coming through this large crowd of people, is the villain. Our villain, right?
Theris. Aha.
Theris.
The High Magister
Theris.
Theris.
High Magister Theris and all their theyness. Followed by, because I don't give a shit, their henchmen.
Yeah.
So it's all of them. And they're going through and they're kind of reaching forward and grabbing what you originally think are random people. And then by the third person, you realize they are grabbing people that oddly are wearing the same clothes color scheme as you. And you know that they are looking for someone like you. And let's see. And in doing that, and in seeing them from afar and seeing the commotion, you're able to slink back. Tell me how you achieve.
So I think that, we're going through the crowd, hear that commotion, kind of see all of that. And Wiz would grab Orlest's hand and kind of tug them into like down a side road, and into like the first open door that they can find. Like they try a door handle. If it's closed and locked, they won't go in. But if it's like an open door, like not a locked door, they'll just kind of go in. It's probably someone's like kitchen or like
it is absolutely a sex shop.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic. So like it's the back door, so like, it's probably
It is the back door.
Yeah. It's definitely like, a coat room or something, like,
which oddly enough says
upstairs.
entrance.
Oh, fantastic. And they'll just kind of duck in there just to like breathe a little bit, not explaining what it all happened to or less. And then kind of notice where they are and they'll just, well, all right. I suppose, I mean, this is fine.
This tracks.
And they will begin kind of casting their portal just like kind of right there, because they feel safer here than they did out on the streets.
As good a place as any.
It's as good a place as any. So they won't do it like, in the middle of the walkway or anything like that. They'll like try to find where they are, a wall that doesn't have to be blank, but like that doesn't have a door on it, and will kind of cast the portal there.
Literally nobody has noticed you.
Fantastic. This is great. Fantastic. And I was gonna say as the portal is like finishing, well, I'll tell you later.
I think in a mirror of what you did at the start, I just like give you a gentle little boop into the portal. It's like, we gotta go.
Excellent.
And then like hop through as it closes behind me.
Yeah. I think they appear in the kitchen. Maybe like while Enoch is making something, like mid like carrot chop or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
There's just like this big void that appears, and then like the wizard stumbles in, and then or less Mario hops through.
Hi, Enoch.
Oh, hello.
We're back.
And like the wizard stands there, and they're wearing like the same very, very bland, boring clothes. and it's just kind of like staring kind of towards the ground and absentmindedly just hands the boxes to you, or less, of like these fancy clothes that they got for you.
This was, what is this? We got the food, we got the fancy coffee, we didn't get the mugs because of the food and the fancy coffee, and then
they're for you. And they'll look over to Enoch. They look a little pale. And we'll say we need to there's some extra security that we should put on the house. We almost had this. There was some you should try those on. I point to Orlest.
Can I say that I like the idea that Orlest has opened it during this like short conversation and is like running back in the room like, how does it look?
You look like a very cute wizard boy. Just very colorful, like, with many ruffles.
Yeah, like kind of maybe a bright, like somewhere between a navy and electric blue, like classic, curvy wizard hat, big long robes, like maybe big, like kind of billowy pants, some sort of little vest situation, maybe a bow tie. A bow tie.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
You hear Mez giggle and go. They go.
Doesn't hear it. Just is still like, aha! I've grabbed some random long object, pretending it to be a wand, even though I don't think either of us uses wands.
Go poke your eye out, kid.
But afterwards, they would tell Mez and Enoch, the close encounter of an enemy kind that they had, and would start like talking magical preparations. Like they instantly make the house go, which is, I'm sure, nauseating for a handful of y'all. But yeah, I think starts making like extra preparations for, like hidden stuff and like personal, enchantments and things of that nature for each of us, so that if we go out again, we're not gonna get like instantly like jumped on or anything like that. So they are focused and yet also kind of distracted at the same time. Ding ding.
Perfect. We did it.
Yeah.
We went to the market and absolutely nothing had happened.
Absolutely nothing.
Nice. Did you guys mark anything off?
I've had all of my stuff is marked already.
Oh my.
Listen.
No, I don't think I had anything marked off from that one.
I think the only thing I haven't marked off is the warn the wizard that they're in danger of losing their humanity, but I don't know if maybe they haven't warned them yet. Everything else is marked off though.
Nice. Cool.
Including my big star one.
Nice.
All right. I think we can end there. Everyone's cool with that.
I think so, yeah, because
Good place.
Sleep.
Yeah, good place to end it. Next time we'll get to we'll do a couple themes to get to the climax. Back to
Nice.
So everyone go on, say your name. Where to find you in your favorite moments. Let's start with Mez.
Oh shit. Okay. I wasn't expecting to be first, but okay. I'm Alex. You can find me sometimes on Twitter. Most of the time on Instagram, where I post pictures of my dog, or my beautiful nieces, who I can't believe are becoming adults, or the other random ass shit. Favorite moment of the night? The hypocrisy of Wiz was just chef's kiss. Like, just the whole, like, the dripping, and I'm just sitting here going,
you're welcome.
Yeah, that was absolutely a thing. But I also liked being the bad person multiple times and creating these horrible scenarios.
It was fun that you got to step into like.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, yeah, this shit happens to you, and you have no choice.
I'm filing that away for if I ever play this game. Like, ooh, the demon gets to cause problems when they're not in scenes.
Yeah. So, right then, let's go. We'll just go in order of last time. So, Zach.
Hello, that's me. I'm Zach. You can find me on the internet places at Zachary20XX. Zachary like my name, 20XX like the silly cyberpunk trope of the distant future year that will never come. And yeah, I'm on the Tweetos, and I guess I stream on Twitch now. I've been playing some Inscription, which is just, as we were discussing before, when we totally didn't go accidentally live on a different channel that was saying it was Inscription. It would be a real vibe twist from this one, but it's weird and spooky in different ways. Got all kinds of weird magics. Been having fun with that. That's all I do. I think you can find me here, I guess, maybe not next Wednesday. Do we decide not next Wednesday?
Yeah, not next Wednesday. Wednesday after.
A Wednesday in the future, I will be here again at the same time in the same place. I think that's all my things that I do. That's everything about me. The Wiz it away.
Favorite moment?
Yeah.
Oh, favorite moment. Yes.
Moment.
Good moment. I liked in the argument scene where Mez had to go from this is all beneath me, this is mundane human nonsense, to like, oh no, this actually affects me. Why is everyone in this house having a bad time? And had to step in and be the parrot for a second because somebody had to do it.
Someone had to. It was not going to be the Wiz at all.
No.
Ever.
And it quickly turned out to not be Enoch either.
Yeah,
so I was like,
yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
That was just like a fun little character moment for Mez,
Yeah.
and I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it too.
That was very good. Now me. Hi, I was the Wiz, will always be the wizard, best wizard. It's me. I can be found on the internet at Happy Capster in all the places, mostly on Twitter, but also here on Twitch. I stream 5 days a week now, doing various gaming things. I'll be live tomorrow morning, afternoon at 11, playing more Inscription, like Zach said. It's very good. You can also find me every other week, like next week on Outcast and Outclass. I'm part of that cast. Pathfinder 2e game on Waffles Maple Syrup. And it's very, very good. It's also on Spotify. If you want to partake in that way, that would be cool. And then what else am I doing? I have a couple of things that are coming up soon that I can't talk about yet, but there's going to be some more things happening, and I'm very excited. So more things are happening probably towards the end of this month / into February. So keep an eye on my socials for all the things that are happening, and I'm very excited. That's me. Oh, also I do art and stuff like that, but you can find all that on my website, which is on my Twitter, so you can see that too. The end. Ty, tell us things.
Did you have a favorite moment?
My favorite moment thing. I really liked almost running into the enemy there at the end. Like, I liked that all the way up until this point, we haven't really had to deal at all with them, and then all of a sudden it's like one right after another, like stuff about them comes up. And I'm so excited to see where like Act 2 is gonna go, because it's way shorter, but I feel like it's gonna be like way punchier. So
And
that's
I'm
yeah.
Ty. You can find me at Baller on Twitter. You can find me here at Mythos Mystery Society. Not next week, but the 26th, we will return with this game. I'm not sure if we'll have anything in the interim. And you can find our stuff on YouTube and TikTok. As Dave's posting some stuff there. I think the second episode of Dad Ventures will be up pretty soon. He's working on it. My favorite moment from tonight, I enjoyed that there were a lot, like, and the last time we played was a lot of fun, but I liked that this time there were more side scenes, or like not side scenes, but like scenes where it was like, oh, just these two characters kind of building a relationship, these two characters. I liked that it wasn't just everyone for every scene. I thought that was fun this time. That was different from last time. And I thought all those scenes were really good.
Hi. Excellent. Well, we are going to go raid the Amphitheater. The Amphitheater just had their premiere of a Redwall D&D 5e show last night. Duval is currently playing Golden Sun, not GoldenEye. Golden Sun. So we're going to go over there. We're going to hype with Duval, hang out, chill if you want. But send some TTRPG love that direction because this show is great and y'all are great. So we will catch you all the next time we are here. Nightbot said no to links. Dang. All right, well, we will see you all the next time. Love your faces. Goodbye, everyone.